Hello everybody, my name is Alex and welcome back to my channel. And we got a little bit of an interesting video today. I'm going to be interviewing one of my teachers here at Lakeridge Junior High. Would you like to introduce yourself real quick?
Yes, hello everybody. Hello all of Alex's subscribers. My name is Mrs Whitaker and I teach a class called Foundations of Learning.
So let's start off the questions with what made you want to start teaching?
Ooh, that's a good one. So I was doing my college degree in music. So I wanted to be a performer, I wanted to play the flute in like a professional orchestra. But then I went to this conference called the Utah Music Educators Conference. And I was like, wow, this seems super fun. I really love working with kids and young people. And so maybe decide to teach instead.
Okay. Number two, out of all the schools you could have come to, why did you pick this one?
Because I absolutely love Lakeridge. I think the students here are super great. I think the other teachers here are wonderful. They clearly all care about teaching and all care about the kids. And I really like all our principals. They're super great, super supportive.
Okay. Number three, do you think you could tell me and by extension the audience a couple things about yourself?
Yeah, so I grew up in a really rural part of Utah called Beaver Dam. We had sheep, we had chickens. People would put like their horses in our pastures and everything. So Orem is actually the biggest city I've ever lived in, even though it's like not even really that big of a city, right? And so I graduated from Bear High School. I went to Snow College to get my degree. And so I did music there. My main instrument is the flute. And then I came here to do my student teaching, which is where you basically learn how to teach first. And I absolutely loved it here. And so then I got a job here last year, and so I stayed this year.
Number four is how do you motivate yourself to like get up in the morning, go to work, all that stuff?
That's a good question. Some days it's harder than others, right?
Yeah.
So I use music a lot actually to help motivate myself because it can really change your mood. And so I have a Spotify playlist that I call Good Morning Sunshine, where if I'm not feeling good, I'll just put on that playlist and then it makes me feel like way better about the day. Or I just think, what could I do that's going to be fun for my students today? Or like, what am I excited for them to learn about today? And that motivates me.
Okay, number five, this question I found online because I just could not figure out any question. Yeah. Describe a time when a student challenged your authority in the classroom. What did the student do and how did you respond?
So there was one time last year, we have like no phones in class, right? And for me, I have a zero tolerance policy, meaning as soon as I see it the first time, I'll take it away. And this kid would not give me his phone. He just like kept saying no over and over and over again. And so I asked him, I was like, I really don't want this to be a bigger deal than it is. Like, by you not giving me your phone, you're gonna turn this into a big problem. Like, do you want to do that? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, okay. And so I had to email his mom, I had to email the principal. He got his phone taken away for like the rest of the school year. So that's how I handled the situation.
That's a lesson to you guys. Don't use your phones in class. It's a bad idea.
It's not worth it. No.
Okay, so now we are entering the middle of the interview. And this question is sort of an important question. It's something that's very important to this channel. And also, I've heard you talk quite a bit about it already.
Okay.
Number six, what are your tastes in music?
A better question would be, what is not my taste in music? Because as someone who studied music for a long time, I feel like I can find like anything I like. I used to really hate rap music, and now I love like Doja Cat and Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and them. And I used to hate country music, but now I love like Dolly Parton. Do you know Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's super great. So especially I'm interested in like global music. So like traditional music from Bolivia or Chile. I love Afro-Cuban music too. Just anywhere that's not the US, I'm interested in what kind of music they have, because I feel like you get to hear music in English all the time. And so I like listening to things from another country.
Okay, so the rest of the questions are gonna be more like questions for fun.
Okay.
Like, we started with like questions that are more about teaching and stuff. But now we're gonna talk about more, just fun stuff.
Okay.
At number 7, it says 6 on here, but it's actually question 7. It's
Okay.
really confusing to me. How do you spend your summer breaks?
Ooh, summer breaks. One of the other best parts about being a teacher is all the wonderful time off, right? So last summer I just spent it doing whatever I wanted, which ended up being a lot of sewing, a lot of video games, a lot of other like random projects. Like I got a cookbook and I decided to make videos where I tried a new recipe from the cookbook in every video. So that's what I did. What about you? How did you spend your summer?
A lot of video games.
Yeah?
At my friend's house. My
Nice.
friend's house a lot of times. Made a bit of music. Yeah, that's mostly it.
Nice.
I'm gonna take a couple of questions that aren't on the list real quick.
Okay.
First one is, do you guys get paid for time off during summer breaks?
So here's how it works. So we are paid for a certain number of what's called contract hours. So it's saying you have to work this many hours and we'll pay you this much. So you can choose to have your paycheck split up into just the months that school is in, or you can choose to have it all year over the summer. So I choose to have it over the summer just because I don't want to have to get a job in the summer and worry about money. So that's how it works.
And another question is, another thing that is important to not this channel yet, but me. Heard you mention that you played a lot of video games. What kind of games are you into?
Ooh, okay, so right now I'm playing Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which is super fun. I like mostly like single player, like open world type games. Anything like creative. Like I really love Animal Crossing, especially like the older ones. I like story games, like especially the horror ones that you kind of get to like choose your own adventure. Have you played any of those or seen those?
I'm not sure.
Oh, you should look into them. It's super fun. But yeah, anything like scary. I love scary games and open world games. Yeah.
Okay, back onto the actual questions that I have written down.
Okay.
At number 8, what current trends are baffling to you and why?
I would say I'm baffled by my students' sense of humor sometimes.
Me too.
I feel like I don't get it. I have one student who thinks it's hilarious to just yell out to this other kid like, "You're grimace, you're grimace, you're grimace." And I'm like, I don't get it. You know, you tell me, does that mean something to your generation?
Honestly, as someone who is actually part of that generation and who spends a lot of time on the internet, I don't know. 'Cause, like,
Okay, it's not
I
just
don't
me.
even know.
Okay.
Because, like, that's not really the kind of stuff that I'm into. I find all that kind of stuff, like, really weird, kind of.
Right? It is kind of weird. I'm glad
Yeah.
I'm not the only one who doesn't get it.
Yeah. Turn on. No, did not do that. At number 9 is, how do you show your school spirit?
Ooh, I like just helping the other teachers and going to after school activities whenever I can. Like I love chaperoning the dances. I helped with the cross country meet there was a couple weeks ago. I go to the band concerts, the choir concerts. So, and I always wear my Lakeridge gear, even outside of school.
At number 10, if you could take the students on a field trip to anywhere in the world, where would you take them?
Man, I guess it depends on what class. For our class, Foundations of Learning, where would I take them?
I don't know.
Any class I teach.
I don't know, I guess any class.
Ooh. Okay, I think it would be super cool to take the history of rock and roll students to like an actual rock concert and like go backstage and kind of show them like how it actually works and like the sound and the setup I think would be really cool. For my film literacy students, I would love to take them to like a big film festival or to the set of like a major movie to like see how it's made. So that's my answer.
Okay. So we're about done with this interview. We have one more question, and that is, what are some things you'd like to say to students such as myself who are in 7th grade, new to middle school, and all that kind of stuff? What would you like to say to them?
Ooh, I would say that it seems like high school and college and all that is super far away, but it comes a lot faster than you think. So it's really important to start working on being the kind of person you want to be now so that you have the future that you want.
Okay, so that's about it with the interview. Is there anything you'd like to say to close out the interview?
Like and subscribe. That's what I want to say.
Alright, anyway, thank you for coming on here
Of course.
and talking about you and teaching and all that stuff.
You bet. Thanks for asking me, dude.
And